If you like football's the place for you. Just make sure that you stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to the very first YouTube show of Football PM with me, Cameron Vaziri. This is a new show where we talk all things football. Obviously, I can't do this on my own, so I brought along my co-hosts in Harry Brewer and Nick Harris.
Hi Cameron.
Hello.
Good afternoon Cameron.
We started off as the radio show Football PM on Soundart, and now we're officially on YouTube.
Absolutely. Really excited to do it.
Now, I think we should get straight into the first segment of the show, don't you think? And don't forget, please remember to like and subscribe. So, first up, we're going to talk about Chelsea and Manchester United and the predicted lineups, tactics, and also our predictions. Now, I'm going to hand you over to Nick and Harry to talk us about the lineups, tactics, and predictions.
Yes, well, obviously Nick, massive game coming up in the Premier League between Manchester United and Chelsea. Two sides fighting for top four, fighting for Europe as well. Maybe Europa League if they don't quite manage top four. As you can see here, this is Manchester United's predicted lineup, 4-2-3-1 formation with the new signing Bruno Fernandes slotting in that midfield role. Nick, what do you make of this lineup? Where would you make any tweaks? We've got Greenwood, Williams and maybe Andreas Pereira in here that could come on for them.
Yeah, it's a good lineup compared to other lineups that we've seen this season. Mainly, I think to do with this man Bruno Fernandes, obviously coming in from Sporting in January. Only played one game so far against Wolves. Didn't blow anyone away with his debut performance. But I think that's a lot down to do with how deep he was playing. It would be nice to see him in this number 10 role because I know a lot of people were angry about how deep he was playing. Wasn't really able to get any chances in further up the field.
Bruno Fernandes, some of his stats from that game against Wolves, he didn't make any key passes in that game at all. And I think he has something like the second or third worst pass completion rate out of both teams. So clearly not the best debut, although he did have a few promising shots on target in that game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's clearly got a lot of ability and will improve this Man United side a lot. He's the sort of player that they do need, to just a bit of magic from somewhere when they need it, because obviously with Marcus Rashford going out, which is really bad for them. Obviously now Daniel James having to start all the games, even though he was doing that anyway. And I think I would like to see Mason Greenwood coming in there, to be honest.
I mean, I like to see that as well. Maybe you could put Martial to the left and Greenwood through the middle. I mean, Greenwood's only started 2 Premier League games all season.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
compared to Daniel James's 22, which just shows. I think they're treating James as if he's their star player, but the truth is they signed him for £15 million from Swansea.
3 goals in the league.
3 goals, exactly. He's not at a stage in his career yet where he can be starting all of these games as like their main player. So I think rotate him and Greenwood would help Greenwood a lot and would also help Man United's results. And
what do you think of the left backs? So we've got Luke Shaw starting here, but Brandon Williams, a player that's come through this season, looking really promising in that left back role. Who do you think should be starting?
I think Luke Shaw's had some good performances of late. I mean, I watched the Liverpool Man United game. Luke Shaw was probably one of the best United players on the pitch then. Obviously he was playing a back three there, as sort of the left-sided centre-back. But I like Brandon Williams a lot, although, I'm not sure how I feel about a right-footed left-back playing. I'd like to, it would be interesting to see if he moves over to this right-back role at some point. Obviously Wan-Bissaka is becoming a fan favourite, so it might be hard to displace him.
I mean, it's similar to Chelsea, isn't it, with Azpilicueta playing at left-back at the moment, right-footed.
Yeah.
He's got a good left foot, Brandon Williams, but it's just whether he's naturally a left-back. Obviously Luke Shaw is experienced in that role. So for me, I'd probably have Luke Shaw in that left-back role, just to sort of monitor Hudson-Odoi's pace, I think, and I think he could do a good job there going forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's interesting on the right wing, whether they go with Juan Mata or Andreas Pereira. Both players who haven't been great this season, but they've sort of been average. They haven't really stepped up, but they've chipped in with a couple of goals each. Similar sorts of players, apart from Juan Mata is a more experienced player. Who do you think United will start? Who would you go for?
I think it will be Mata, and I think it should be Mata as well. Although maybe it should just be James, Greenwood and Martial. James
obviously can play on the right as well. Like that.
I think they should give Fernandes a shot out on the right. I think.
Do you think?
But, yeah.
Who would they put as
like
the
this?
10?
So let me just come up and I'll show you. Yeah, something like that. Then I wouldn't have Greenwood up front. I'll put Martial there. Then
Dan James here.
Dan James here. I would do something like this. I'd give Fernandes a shot there and see what he's like on the right, because you never know. Loads of players in the league have changed position this season, and they've performed pretty well in their new position. So,
such as who?
Well, we've got Azpilicueta. We've got.
Because he's a really good winger, isn't he, Azpilicueta?
Well, we're talking about change of positions.
Played
Aren't
left
we?
back before.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka of Arsenal, who's gone from the left wing to left back.
So what you're saying, Martial would be a great left back. Sure, but no, I'm joking.
No, because
well, actually, we have seen Bruno Fernandes play on the right side of midfield for Portugal before in the Nations League last year. So, it could be a good tactic to maybe exploit Azpilicueta. He's a right-footed left back. Who knows how good he'll be.
I'd give him a shot at least to see what he is like. So
to be honest, talking about Azpilicueta at left back, obviously he doesn't have the pace that a lot of fullbacks do. So I'd
go on the left.
James on the right.
James against James. Reece James is obviously really quick, as is Dan James. So maybe if you want to exploit the pace, you go with that. And Brandon Williams, he can play on the left wing. He's done it before. If you want a bit more of a defensive approach,
turn to a bit of a Bukayo Saka here.
So what about the midfield to Fred and Matic? How do you see them faring against that Chelsea midfield?
I do like Chelsea's midfield a lot. Obviously, Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic, they're all great players. Kovacic and Jorginho especially have done well this season compared to last season. Kante maybe not as well. But I still expect them to do well against this sort of defensive setup of Man United's midfield. I know Fred's got a lot of praise. I think a lot of it is deserved. He's stepped up a lot this season compared to last season. However, I'm not sure about Matic. Obviously, getting older.
Gets his old club, of course, as well.
Gets his old club. Yeah. And I think this midfield, especially Kovacic and Kante, have too much energy maybe for Matic.
So onto the Chelsea side now. Obviously, you can see we've switched ends of the table. We talked about Azpilicueta a minute ago, left back. Maybe Dan James's pace could exploit him at left back. Obviously, he's a right-footed player. Would you see Alonso as an option, maybe playing at left back and Azpilicueta somewhere else in the defence or on the bench, maybe?
Well, I wouldn't say that Alonso's an approach to stop Dan James, because Alonso's not the fastest of left backs either, and has been, a bit defensively inept, if you like. So I think if you're going to tackle Dan James's pace, I would still go for Azpilicueta. Use his experience against an inexperienced winger. I think that would be the most effective option. Obviously, Alonso likes to attack a lot more, and Wan-Bissaka, he's a great defensive right back, and I'm not sure how much joy Alonso would be able to get down that flank.
I just think Alonso always seems to step up in games against the big six, in big games. So I'd probably go for him at left back, but I also like Reece James at right back, so I don't really want to get rid of him. I think the attacking fullbacks of Alonso and James would be good. So perhaps controversially, but I would actually go with Aspi at centre back ahead of Christensen, because we've seen him play centre back in the back three before.
Yeah.
We know he can do it. He's a good defender. Obviously, he's got great leadership skills, so you can't really bench him. Well, you can, but it wouldn't be the best idea, I think. So I'd like to see him be given a chance at centre back.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did use that approach, because, as you said, great leadership, and he is just an all-round great defender. Maybe he doesn't have the height as much, but I think as a centre-back he could be useful.
In terms of other centre-backs, we've also got Rudiger and Christensen you've seen. This man, Fikayo Tomori, a young centre-back, made his debut for England last year. He's quick. Do you think he could defend well against Martial?
Martial's one of those players where he's a bit, sometimes he's fantastic, sometimes he's not really on it. And I think it depends on Martial's form. I wouldn't back Tomori against, Martial at his best, to be honest. I think Tomori, he's been good this season, but I think the fact that he's an English young centre-back has probably elevated people's opinions of him.
Absolutely.
So I think that Martial could get a bit of joy against Tomori, and that's why I would start someone like Azpilicueta over him. But again, Christensen isn't really a great option to have at centre-back. So these two are probably the best option they have.
I do like that back four. And obviously we talked about the midfield three earlier, a little bit of Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic. This man, Mason Mount, another young English player, would you see him fitting into that midfield three or on the wing or just maybe as a sub?
I think he would be a sub in this game. I mean, he could go in there for Kovacic, but Kovacic, as I said, he's got a lot of energy.
He's been very good this season.
He has. He's been massively improved this season. And I like Mason Mount, another one for the future. He's got a lot of goal contributions this season, but against a big team like Man United, I'm not sure that Mason Mount's the right option.
But we have seen earlier in the season Mason Mount has played on the left wing, so perhaps could go for the English front three, the youngsters of Mount, Abraham and Hudson-Odoi, maybe use Willian as a super sub instead. Cutting it from that left hand side, can you see Mason Mount working there or not?
To be honest, I can't. I've talked earlier about Wan-Bissaka's defensive ability, and I think I don't see Mount really getting past Wan-Bissaka that much. What's that, Cameron?
Just got a penalty in the current Aston Villa Spurs game in my earpiece with
Back over to you, Nick.
a big VAR call again.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Mason Mount, he's a great player, one for the future, but Wan-Bissaka, I think, would have him defensively.
Okay, so score predictions for this game. Nick, what are you saying? Who's going to win?
I back Chelsea to win it. I think they'll be out for revenge after that 4-0 loss and being knocked out of the EFL Cup. So I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea.
I think I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think Chelsea are much more likely to win the game than Manchester United. But I'm not sure about Tammy Abraham up front, I think.
Really?
I don't know, I think maybe they could have some more firepower up there. I'm not too sure about how he's going to cope against Maguire and Lindelof and De Gea in goal. But I still think they've got...
Who's the home team? Is it Man U? Is it Old Trafford or Stamford?
It's at Stamford Bridge, I think.
Wow.
Obviously the game at Old Trafford 4-0 to United, but I think Willian will probably play on the left. He might cut inside. Obviously we saw he got a couple of goals against Tottenham. So I don't know, I think it could be a high scoring game. Kepa obviously not on the best of form as well. So I'm going to go for 2-2, but I think it could go either way. I don't think anyone really knows with this game. Cameron?
I'm going to go 3-2 to Chelsea, I think. Yeah, 3-2 to Chelsea. Tammy Abraham to get a goal and possibly Willian as well in there.
Okay. I think it's time to move on to the
Yeah,
next one.
so next up we're going to go on to the 10 question quiz. So, you may be wondering what I'm doing up here. I'm on a treadmill. I'm going to hand you over to Nick to explain exactly what the rules are for this because I'm really nervous.
Okay.
Over to you, my friend.
Thank you. So yes, this is the 10 question quiz. I'll be asking Cameron 10 questions. He's got 2 lifelines, one of which is asking Harry for help. The other is making it a multiple choice question. If he gets it right, well done to him. However, if he gets a question wrong, he has to make the speed of the treadmill a level higher. So, knowing him, it'll probably be very fast by the end of it.
And I'll probably won't be alive by the end of the show.
Okay, Cameron, could you please put the treadmill on 2?
That's Harry's job, by the way, everybody.
2 kilometres per hour.
Here we go.
Okay, question 1.
Oh, you've got on. Sorry, so I'm not used to this.
Question 1.
Yeah.
How many points do Norwich currently have?
Don't forget you've got your 2 lifelines.
In the Premier League,
That's right.
is this as of today?
It is.
I'm going to say, I don't know this answer, but I'm going to go a level up. I'm going to say,
How long is
27.
That's incorrect, it's 18.
Oh, he's going 3 kilometres an hour.
Okay, question 2. When's the last time Arsenal won a trophy and what was it?
It was in 2015 and it was the FA Cup.
That's incorrect, they won the 2017 Community Shield. A level higher, please.
4 kilometres an hour.
Okay, question 3. Who's the only team that Haaland hasn't scored against for Borussia Dortmund?
Sorry? What was that, sorry?
The only team that Haaland has not scored against.
Erling... Oh, no. Leverkusen.
That's correct.
Oh.
Keep it the same. That's a correct answer. In their 4-3 loss. Question 4. Who's currently bottom of League 2?
Macclesfield.
That's incorrect. It's Stevenage.
It's going up to 6 kilometres an hour.
Question 5. How many of the original 22 Premier League teams play in the Premier League this season? And I'll give you a leeway of 2.
Sorry? I don't understand
How many of the original Premier League teams, the 22 teams that played in the Premier League in 1992, how many of them still play in the Prem now?
Can I use a lifeline, please?
You can.
Right, which lifeline will you go for?
I'm going to choose the Ask Harry lifeline.
Okay, Harry. How many teams? A leeway of 2.
Long Cameron, but I think I'm going to go for an answer of 11.
It was 12, so that's correct.
Oh, I got it right for you, Cameron.
Yay!
Okay, question 6. How many goals have
You asked me to confirm the answer. Jesus.
Question 6. How many goals have Man City scored in the Premier League this season? And I'm giving you another leeway of 3.
Either way, either side.
Yep.
So the goal difference is plus 40.
That's a speak up.
The goal difference is plus 40, so around that anyway. So I'm gonna say 41.
They've scored 65 goals, Cameron.
Oh, it's going up to 8 kilometres an hour.
Question 7. How many goals has Alisson Becker conceded in 2020?
None.
He's conceded 1 goal.
It's going up to 10 kilometres an hour.
Okay, question 8. How many people has he baptised in this time?
1. That was Firmino.
No, 2. Fred's wife as well.
Fred's at what?
Fred's wife. Is that my Fred's wife?
Question 9. When was the last time Leeds were in the Premier League?
Is there a leeway for this question?
How-
Is there a leeway for this question?
A year. What? 1 year. I'll give you a leeway of 1 year.
The last year Leeds were in the Premier League.
The other multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Okay. Was it 2002, 2003, 2004, or 2005?
Sorry.
Hold on.
2005.
Well, I'll give you the leeway of 1 because I feel like you're struggling here. It was 2004. Okay, last question, Cameron. You're almost there.
Last question.
Okay, I'll give you another leeway of 5 here. But what is Haaland's goals per minute rate even, for Dortmund in the league this season? A leeway of 5.
Goals per minute.
Do you mean 0.5?
No, it means 5, as in the goal per minute. It could be 1 goal every 59 minutes, for example.
Oh no, minutes per goal even. Yeah. How many minutes per goal?
Is it like 20? 20.
That's incorrect. It's 38 minutes per goal.
It's going up to 14.
Right.
5 seconds on this. And that is it. Workout is over, Cameron. Well done. Nick, can you reveal the scores?
Oh gosh.
Well, as you can tell from the speed at the end, I don't think he got too many right. I'll just count them up now.
I think I got 2 right.
I thought it might have been
2.
3.
I think you got 3 right.
3 out of 10.
3 it is. 3 out of 10.
That's 3 out of 10 on the leaderboard.
Congratulations.
Here's the leaderboard. We're going to show you on screen right now.
As you can see, it's only Cameron on it, and he's got 3.
Yeah. So yeah. Now on to the next thing.
So Cameron, he's just on the 10 question quiz. He's recovering now. He's so tired. So it's just over to me and Nick now to talk about the Manager of the Year and who should win the Manager of the Year for the 2019-20 season. As you can see now, Jurgen Klopp is on your screens. Nick, what do you think of Jurgen Klopp's chances of winning?
I think they're extremely high. I mean, what more can you say about them? They've won all but 1 game in which they drew. Unbeaten so far. They've dropped 2 points. And that's largely down to him. I think, this year, obviously, he's been phenomenal as a manager. But I think it's down to what he's done over the past 4 or 5 years that he's been there, 4 years. Because what he's done there, he's grown the club to another level that I don't think the Premier League has seen before. I mean, obviously you can't really compare teams between eras that well. All you can do is strive to be the best team in a certain era, and they're definitely the best team at the moment in the world.
And you can just look at the stats. I mean, they've won every single game apart from one draw against Man United, and that just tells its own story, I think. He's clearly the favourite for the award. Despite some great competition from managers like this man, as you can see now on your screens, Chris Wilder, Sheffield United manager. They're currently in 5th place, which as it stands is a Champions League place, obviously Man City being banned from Europe. He started with Sheffield United when they were in League One, brought them up to the top 5 in the Premier League. I mean, he's done a great job, clearly.
Yeah, another manager who I think has been judged largely on his successes this season, but should be judged further on how far he's taken the team, obviously from League One all the way into 5th in the Premier League. You know, I can't think of another manager who's done that well. Eddie Howe has done it with Bournemouth, but I don't think he's
never
finished
really
quite as high.
Up to 5th place.
Exactly, Chris Wilder. I mean, what he's done, and he's very open about his players. If a player makes a mistake, he'll openly, have a go at them in the press. But I think he just sort of scares them into playing well, and it works. It works.
Yeah, he's a very strong manager with his words. I think in the dressing room would be quite scary, quite dominating. I think, but it clearly works. I mean, it's shown by the results this season.
Yeah.
2 points off the top 4, but as it stands in a Champions League spot. And the way he's utilised some Championship players like Norwood and Fleck in the Premier League, he's brought them up to the Prem, and they've been nothing short of world class this season. Those two in midfield, so he's got to be a candidate. As well as this man, the next man on your screens, Brendan Rodgers, Leicester City manager. Obviously came in last season where they were sort of struggling, bottom half of the Premier League. He's got them up, and they're now 3rd in the Premier League. I think the job he's done has been underrated as well.
Yeah, I think especially since Leicester, haven't been winning as many games recently. He hasn't got the plaudits that he was getting, but their achievements this season shouldn't go unnoticed, because he came into a struggling team. They won the Premier League, and then the next season, they were in the relegation zone at some points. And the journey that they've been on, especially since Rodgers has arrived, has been fantastic. He's turned Vardy back into the player that he was in their title-winning season. He's now scoring for fun, and I think it's not many managers could have done that with Leicester, but Brendan Rodgers, he's come in and done it.
And even the stuff he's done with young players, for example, Harvey Barnes and Ben Chilwell coming through the Leicester Academy. Harvey Barnes on great form now, lots of assists in the Premier League this season. Ben Chilwell likewise. James Maddison as well, another good young English player that he's really helped to develop, got him that England cap as well. So yeah, I think he's really helped to develop his players and also the team as a whole. I think they're a really good squad now, that Leicester team, and Keglas Soyuncu is another great example of it. Someone who came in sort of unknown in England, and now he's been one of the best centre backs arguably in the league this season. So Brendan Rodgers, a great shout for Manager of the Year. And one last candidate now, Nuno Espirito Santo, the Wolves manager. Again, similar to Wilder, took over, but when they're in the Championship this time. They're in Europe now. They got their last season, and again they're, I think, 7th in the league at the moment. He's done a great job, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a manager that again has utilised the players that they have, and the connections he has with Portuguese players. Obviously, the likes of João Moutinho, Patricio, Ruben Neves. All fantastic players. Especially like the likes of Moutinho. He's been regarded as a world class player for large parts of his career. So to have players with that sort of prestige has obviously been a massive boost. But again, he's another manager who's improved players. The likes of Adama Traore. He was very unreliable last season. This season he's unplayable. He's been fantastic, and I don't think there's a defence in the league that's been able to keep him quiet for a whole 90 minutes.
And even Raul Jimenez, I mean, he was struggling in Europe, played for a number of different clubs, comes to Wolves, excellent last season, and this season probably even better. A great partnership with Adama Traore in attack, with Jota last season in attack as well. And obviously the 2 old Portuguese midfielders as well. 2 Portuguese, Moutinho is old, Neves is still young, but they've got a great connection in there. And even with someone like Matt Doherty at right wing back, he was playing for Wolves when they were in League One. Now he's in the Premier League. He's still one of the best wing backs in the league.
Yeah, and it's really little things that really help a promoted team. If they can because obviously they're not going to be able to replace all of their players with 11 fantastic new ones. So they've got to be able to improve players and make them ready for the Premier League, and Nuno's definitely done that with a number of his players.
So if you were to pick one of those 4 managers, who would it be for the manager of the year?
I mean,
if the season ended today.
If the season ended today, due to just the record that Liverpool have at the moment, I think it would be Klopp. But again, Chris Wilder, if he won it, there'd be no complaints from me.
I mean, yeah, I can't really argue with Klopp winning at the moment. Even though you could argue that some of his wins have been slightly lucky, even if they were Liverpool unlucky this season, they'll still be far and away at the top. And obviously winning all of their games apart from the one draw against Manchester United. So Klopp, for me, wins it easily. But that's not to say that the other 3 managers haven't done great jobs, because they have done. Especially Wilder and Rodgers with Sheffield United and Leicester possibly taking those 2 clubs into the Champions League next season, which would be great for those 2 clubs, and financially as well.
Exactly, and Nuno might take Wolves into the Champions League, it wouldn't surprise me.
So that is the manager of the year done. Now on to the next part of the show, which is the 10-second shootout.
Nice.
So here we are for the 10-second shootout. Cameron, have you recovered from that 10-question quiz?
I think I have. I'm really shattered still, but what the show must go on, as they say. So over to you.
It did look pretty agonising up there. But 10-second shootout. If you've heard some of our radio shows, you will know the rules to this. If not, I'll explain the rules now. So I've got 8 answers here, and they are the answers to a specific topic. Nick and Cameron will take it in turns to try and get as many as they can. And they'll have 10 seconds for each answer. If they go 10 seconds without getting an answer, then they will lose the competition. Okay? So, the topic is the top 8 Premier League assisters in the league this season.
Blimey, okay.
And there's no buzzing to start off with.
Who's starting?
It's the top 8 assisters, and they've got 7 or more assists.
No
And we'll start with Cameron.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
That is correct.
De Bruyne.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is correct. De Bruyne is also correct. Well done, Nick. Cameron, back over to you.
Robertson.
Andy Robertson, I do not believe is on the list, so you've got about 5 more seconds. Can you get one?
Buendia.
Buendia is on the list. Congratulations, Nick. There are 5 more answers. Firmino is correct. 4 more answers, Cameron. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Aubameyang.
Well, it's not correct. And Nick, you're the 10-second shootout champion. Can you get any of the 4?
Son.
Heung-min is on the list, correct?
Mane has 6 or 7.
Mane is not on the list. He might have 6.
Okay.
You sound like if Nick knows from who there's wins. It's not on the list.
Thanks for that, Cameron.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So you've
Will
got
Mahrez be up there?
he is actually. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And another
Good
City
to see
player.
here.
Another City player.
David Silva, and of course the Speedmeister himself, Adama Traore, of course, assisting all his assists for Raul Jimenez. So congratulations to Nick.
Thank you.
Well done.
As we saw quite a lot of the time on the radio show, Nick does win a lot of these quizzes, but he's won another one here. He knows who gets the assists. Cameron doesn't know who gets the assists.
Aubameyang. What's he talking about?
I don't know.
I mean, he only scores goals, clearly.
He gets it.
Who is there to assist? There's no one else in the Arsenal team that could possibly score a goal.
Yeah, there is Martinelli.
Oh yeah,
We've got Pepe. The whole Arsenal team.
Pepe, a goal machine. Okay.
And that will now move us on to the next topic, which is Cameron.
The race for European football.
In the Premier League, of course. So, as you can see on this table, these 9 clubs are the top 9 clubs in England at the moment, if you exclude Manchester City, who have been banned from Europe. And this is the order that they're in as well. You've got Liverpool, you've got Leicester, Chelsea and Sheffield United currently in the so-called top 4, qualifying for the Champions League. And you've got Tottenham, Wolves and Everton qualifying for the Europa League. And as it stands, Manchester United and Arsenal, as well as Man City, are not going to be in Europe next season. But of course, this could all change. So this is like the cutting point for the Champions League and Europa League. Nick, how do you think it'll end at the end of the season?
At the end of the season, I think it's fair to say that Liverpool will be up here in first place. And then I'm confident
They've already basically qualified for Champions League football.
they have, effectively, as long as Manchester City's ban is upheld. I'm pretty confident that Leicester City will finish in that 3rd place spot, or a 2nd place if you exclude Man City. And then it gets a bit
19 teams in the Premier League, to be honest.
and then it gets a bit tougher to predict. I am confident Chelsea will get one of those places. Whether or not it will be in this third position or fourth, I'm not sure. But I'm going to say that Sheffield United will drop out, unfortunately. I really hope they get top four because, they've been a real breath of fresh air, if you like. So have Wolves as well. I'd love to see them get top four over these two. But I think that it will probably end up looking something like that as a top four.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's most likely to happen. I think we can exclude Arsenal from this race altogether. I think they're not going to be anywhere near the top four. I'm sorry.
Out.
Not even Europa League. Get rid of them. Liverpool, get them gone as well. They've already won. Forget about them.
Are you sure about Arsenal? I think Arsenal, after breaking the bye, I think they're going to go on a good
first place.
Well, okay, you know what? Rip this team off because they're absolutely rubbish.
I mean, to be fair, I think how Solskjaer's United are falling at the moment, I think they can be ripped up as well.
I think they all can be ripped up.
I don't think so, Cam. I think these clubs have all, they've still got stuff to play for.
By the way, Liverpool aren't rubbish. I was just being too.
So we've got this is second place at the moment.
So are we excluding Manchester United from this? Because I still thought that they were in the race.
Well, I don't know.
You watch when we come back. When we come back here at the end of the season, Arsenal will be where Spurs are, or probably where Chelsea are.
We'll see
And if
what
they're not, you have to do the next show in, I don't know, make a bet for yourself.
Make a bet for myself.
Yeah.
I will come. I don't even know.
Wait, why don't you wear a Tottenham hat next time?
I don't own. I don't.
You can go and buy one.
You have to buy one.
I'm not going to go and buy one because that's a long journey up to Spurs.
Is it order it online?
You can only buy a Spurs hat in Spurs.
I'll do the show topless.
That is not something that you want to keep in your mind for too long.
Yeah, all the viewers want Arsenal to finish their Champions League space now.
Okay, I think we're going to move on from that idea very quickly. So back to this now. Leicester, this is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. I don't know. Maybe United will come ahead of Everton, but
yeah, I think I would exclude Everton from the Champions League race.
Everton. I think that they've got a good chance as well. To be honest.
So, do you think Everton will get top 7? Or
yeah, they've got Carlo Ancelotti.
They do have Carlo Ancelotti.
And he's won Champions Leagues before. He knows what to do. He can get Everton.
What to do.
He can get.
But then again,
he can get. He can get Everton into the top 4.
I think his team's been a bit better than the ones that he's won the Champions League with.
But
Ronaldo to Richarlison.
I mean, as good as Everton have been this season, I don't think they've been showing great form, but I don't think they've been showing the form that will get them quite into that top 4. I'm afraid to say.
Yeah,
we'll see. Wolves are out of the equation, big time. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if we're saying the top 4, we've got Liverpool, and then 3 of these teams. I think we can safely rule out Wolves, unfortunately.
Can we?
I think so. I think they're in 7th place. They played a game.
Why are we ripping things up now? All of a sudden.
Because that's the end of Wolves' hopes. I'm sorry, Wolves. Sorry, Nuno. Rumours that Nuno might be leaving at the end of the season as well. I mean,
that's harsh, to be honest.
Do you think Wolves could get top 4?
I think Wolves could get top 5.
Do you think?
They're a good team.
It'll be very funny if Wolves can actually get top 4 and he just ripped their logo up. I'm just saying.
We've ripped several logos up.
We ripped Liverpool's logo up.
Well, I did because he was really annoying me.
Okay, so I mean, Wolves could get there, but I think Sheffield United, would you not argue, have got more of a chance of getting to the top 4 than Wolves?
I think, yeah, more of a chance, absolutely.
Okay, so if we're saying who we think, I think we can safely say Leicester have got
Leicester are in.
as well as Liverpool. So it leaves 2 of these
we can
sides.
riff these up as well, I think.
One of these sides are going to miss out. We've got Frank Lampard's Chelsea, we've got Mourinho's Tottenham, and we've got Chris Wilder's Chelsea.
They're going to miss out. Here you go. I've decided they're out. Here we go.
Cameron, obviously being the devoted Arsenal fan he is, he hates Tottenham. But no, I'm not sure about Chelsea. I think maybe Tottenham and Sheffield United could get top 4.
How dare you leave Spurs' logo lying on that? That should have been ripped off first. How dare you?
I think all these teams have been inconsistent, other than Sheffield, who have felt relatively consistent, just like drawing and stuff. But Chelsea and Spurs have been very inconsistent. Chelsea more so, I'd say, in the past couple months. Since Mourinho's taken place. Yeah, exactly. And so
I like
I
these.
don't know, it depends.
Actually, I do like these 2 clubs. They're really good.
Thank you so much for telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident that they both will finish in Champions League spaces.
This half of Tottenham. And Sheffield will miss out, you think?
I think so. I'd love them to, but I don't think that they've got the quality needed to maintain the results that will get them a top 5 finish.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I'm not sure about Tammy Abraham as a striker. Ollie McBurney and Billy Sharp's forming a really good partnership, so I mean, it's controversial, but I'm going to say Chelsea are just going to miss out on getting the Europa League. And I think
Spurs.
Wow,
Spurs,
really?
what it means
What we have of Spurs gets
will
in.
be in the top 4 alongside Liverpool, Leicester and Sheffield United. But who knows, we'll see at the end of the season. Cameron, obviously you think Tottenham won't make it.
No, they're out. No, sorry, they're rubbish. They're as we record, they're drawing to Villa as well. That shows how bad they are. Anyway,
And
I think Leicester, Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, and Arsenal to make top.
Arsenal.
To make
wow.
Champions League.
I mean, I think I should come in wearing a Sheffield United hat. That might make me think Sheffield United are going to win the whole league, even though Liverpool have almost already won it. So Nick, you think Sheffield United unfortunately just going to miss out? That would be devastating.
I don't want them to, but
But I mean, still Europa League football. That'd be amazing for them.
I hope it doesn't do what happened to Burnley though, and it sort of ruins their season.
But I mean, it's been great for Wolves so far.
I don't think their team's strong enough for European football, personally.
I don't think
United.
Arsenal's is strong enough for European football.
I'm sorry, but they have players that have played in the Champions League.
They start
How many? Yeah, because he can actually play there. How many players?
Sander Berge.
Who?
Sander Berge, their new
He's quality
signing.
signing.
Has he played in the Champions
Yeah,
League?
Yes,
he
he
played
played
for
for
Liverpool.
One player. Arsenal have about 10 players. No, not even. Maybe half their squad. Maybe even 3/4 of their squad have played in the Champions League.
Dean
before.
Tell you
Henderson's
what.
good enough to play in the Champions
Tell
League.
you
I
what.
don't think so.
Sheffield United have also signed another player that's playing in the Champions League. Retsos, the Bayer Leverkusen centre-back, just signed for Sheffield United. So that's 2 players, I think. Okay, and we could continue this debate for days, but I don't think there's time. So I think now it's time to move on to our next topic, which is Football PM. Would I lie to you?
So this part of the show is Would I Lie to You? Football PM version. So Harry, you sent a true story to me earlier, and I've also made a lie, and I've randomised it, and I've got which one has turned up for you to read out, and Cameron shall guess if it is true or a lie. Harry,
Okay.
please read
Thank
that
you.
out.
Sorry. I once met Stuart Downing and Matt Jarvis in London. However, without recognising Jarvis, I made him take a photo of me and Downing. Okay, so this is a genuinely true story. Cameron.
Is this for you? Is this your truth or lie?
Yes, you have to guess. So as you can see here, I once met Stuart Downing and Matt Jarvis in London. However, without recognising Jarvis, I made him take a photo of me and Downing. So, any questions you want to ask me about that?
Whereabouts in London was this exactly?
It was just outside Wembley, so it was the Community Shield final between Manchester United and Leicester, 2016, I believe. I was at the game because obviously I'm a Man United fan. Man United won the game. I think Ibrahimovic made his debut. I
Yeah,
believe.
scored the winner.
So I saw them outside there also watching the game. Didn't recognise Jarvis. Now of course I know former West Ham winger. Stuart Downing, of course everyone knows who he is. So I thought my dad I think was on the toilet or something at the time. So I got.
He was on
I
the
think
toilet.
he might have been gone to the toilet. So I got Matt Jarvis over and said, "Excuse me, can you just take a picture of me and Stuart Downing?" Stuart Downing looked a bit kerfuffled, but I mean I was just delighted. And suddenly I saw Matt Jarvis on Match of a day later on. I saw a picture and I was like, wait, that's the guy I got to take a picture. And I was like, oh no, that must have been so awkward for them. He didn't notice who I was. Any other questions?
So this was outside Wembley.
Just after the game, I think it was.
There's not many questions I could ask. How old were you?
Well,
2016.
2016, so 4 years ago, about 11 or 12.
12. That's not going to really help, is it?
Prompt him with any questions, maybe? Any other thing?
Do you want to help me out, Nick? With a
Or do you want to
question?
just ask me if do you want me to just guess if it's true or lie?
Oh, I don't know.
Why didn't you know that Matt Jarvis was a player? Just hadn't seen him play before.
I don't know. I just thought. I don't know. I think I'd heard of him. I just hadn't really seen his face because, I like my football then, but I don't know what he was playing for West Ham. I wasn't really. He was like a backup winger for West Ham. I wasn't too, sort of, keen on the Matt Jarvis sorts of players. I thought Stuart Downing. I mean, everyone knows
Matt
his
Jarvis sorts of players.
Matt Jarvis. I mean, I think I'd heard his name, but as far as I remember, I didn't actually know. I didn't know what he looked like. So, I mean, as I said, very embarrassing for Matt and for me. I'm surprised he didn't say really, but that just shows what sort of a great bloke Matt Jarvis is.
Humble people.
Yeah.
Well, am I allowed to ask? I might be bending the rules a little bit. Do you have the photo with you?
I do, it's not printed out. I think it's on my phone from a long time ago, and then when I got a new phone, I might have sent it to my dad, so I don't actually have it on me right now that I can show you, but it was on my old phone.
Can you show us then, please?
No.
I told you, my dad has it on his phone from a long time ago.
I think we should get your dad into the studio.
Well, if you want to phone up my dad and get him in the studio, fine, but I don't even think he'll be able to find it, so, you know.
Alright then,
Cameron, do you think you have enough information to...
well...
Or do you want any other more? I can give you any information you want, really.
Give me some more information.
What about?
Doesn't help.
Just general information about nothing.
Okay, I'll never mind.
So Cameron, is it true or is it a lie? What are you saying?
A truth or an lie?
Is it true or is it a lie?
Oh, well, a lie. This is an lie. I'm gonna say... Sound like he's bluffing. This happened on the radio once, but I know he's bluffing me, so I'm gonna... Oh, God. I'm gonna say it's false.
Harry, please reveal the correct answer.
Okay, so obviously massive respect to Stuart Downing and Matt Jarvis. I love the guys, love the players, and I would have loved to have met them in person, but unfortunately it is a lie.
I mean, you would have definitely recognised Matt Jarvis. Who wouldn't?
Exactly. What a legend.
It was obvious from the first thing you did, your reaction, you started laughing. I knew it was going to be a lie.
The million questions he asked me, broke me down. Constant question after question after question that he kept on asking me, and it was clear that it wasn't true, wasn't it? I don't think he could have asked any more questions in a minute.
So, yeah, anyway, I think we should move swiftly on to the next part of the show, which is going to be the best number 9 Instagram competition.
So, as you already may know, on our Instagram we are doing competitions for the best player in each number in the Premier League. And right now we're on the number 9, so we thought we would debate who is going to win the number 9 competition and who should win it. So this is the first half of the draw. So round 1, here we've got Wesley against Solanke for the right to play Firmino in the second round. Nick, Wesley or Solanke, who do you think is the better striker?
I don't think any of them have the right to play Firmino in the next round. They're not good. It's just Wesley would win. Wesley should win. I know he's not winning because Cameron has voted for Solanke about 7 times, I think. But,
No, 4 times, my friend.
Oh, only 4, my bad. Okay, but yeah, Wesley's the better striker. I know he's got a long-term injury. That's a real shame for him. He's had, the odd good game, but Solanke has scored 1 Premier League goal ever, and it came back in 2018 for Liverpool against Brighton. It's just
a former striker that's better than a Brazilian, is it? Feel free to rip him up.
Why are you ripping Solanke up, man?
Solanke is...
Okay, so that will mean 2 Brazilians face each other.
I stick up for him at Liverpool, but, Wesley has to win that.
Surely, yeah. So 2 Brazilians face each other in the last 16, for
absolutely.
this competition.
And that's an easy win for Firmino.
That's not even a debate, is it? Firmino's clearly better than Wesley. So now on to the next second round tie. Anthony Martial against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. 2 fairly decent number 9s, should be quite a close one, I think. Nick, who are you backing to win this one?
No rippage, by the way. Please, no rippage. Please. No rippage. Please.
I think Martial will win, but I'd love to see Big Dom win over here.
The Merseyside derby in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, exactly. I like Calvert-Lewin a lot. And he's shown good form this season a lot, especially since Ancelotti's come in, Carlo's backed Calvert-Lewin to get in the England squad, and I think...
What was it, like 3 goals in 3, actually? When he came in?
Perhaps, but... I think he definitely deserves a look in, considering, the injuries to Kane and Rashford.
Certainly on recent form, I think he's been better than Martial, so let's put him in the quarters. Get rid of Martial here. No rippage there, Cameron.
Oh, good, thank God.
As your orders suggested.
And I think a lot of this is based on form, and that may be the reason that in the next one...
Yeah, certainly.
Danny Ings.
Unbelievable form for Danny Ings, playing against Tammy Abraham. 2 England strikers that will be looking to get in the squad for the Euros.
I think he can be ripped up, no?
But
should we rip him up? I don't know.
I don't know. I think Ings is the better striker for me, certainly on form. Okay, maybe just generally.
Rip Tammy up, go on, rip him up.
Oh, no rippage, no rippage.
Tammy, I'm sorry. He's being ripped up. Danny Ings through to the quarterfinals. He will play the winner of...
No wonder he's out of my FPL team.
These Titans, Ollie McBurney and Joel Linton.
I love them. Players.
No rippage here, no rippage.
They don't deserve to be.
For you, Nick, who gets through to the quarterfinals?
It's definitely Ollie McBurney. Joel Linton.
1 goal for Joel Linton against Tottenham.
I love Joel Linton, but he's not good at football, is he? I know...
He's better than me.
Yes, I think he's better than all of us, but in terms of Premier League quality strikers, he's he's not really.
But we can't rip him up because he's such a
You're
Newcastle
not allowed
legend.
to rip him up.
So there's Joelinton plays safely.
We're going to beat you, Joel, and today we're going to beat you, my friend. Lacazette's going to tear you apart, even though he's not starting.
This will come out after the game's finished as well.
Yeah,
so I really hope Arsenal lost.
So quarterfinals, Firmino against Calvert-Lewin. Nick, fairly comfortable for Firmino, you think?
I'd say so. Yeah, I like Calvert-Lewin, but I think it's just evident from how good Liverpool have been this season.
I think DCL.
Firmino's quality has shone.
You think DCL can win?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Oh, he's got more goals. Is that
No,
what
he's
you're
been the
gonna
better player this season, I
say?
think.
No, has he?
Yeah.
Has
Under Ancelotti, anyway.
I'm sorry, Cameron. I think
8
Firmino.
goals, 7 assists.
I
He's
don't
been a great
care about
player.
Firmino.
You don't care. I don't care about Lacazette, but I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, of course you care about Lacazette.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I do.
That's it. No, I think Firmino quite comfortably will win that one. So Calvert-Lewin is going to be going home there. And then the second quarter final, Ings against McBurney. Again, probably quite straightforward win for
Yeah.
Ings.
I think we've got to put Ings in there.
Ings, yep.
And that will make that semi-final. Okay, so before we do that semi-final, we're going to go over to the other side here.
Go over to this side. Here we go.
So Gabriel Jesus, as you can see here, gets a bye through to the second round, to the quarterfinals actually, I think. And he will play the winner of Jimenez against Chris Wood. Now, two strikers that have had decent seasons.
Yeah.
But Jimenez for you, Nick?
It's got to be Jimenez. I think he's clearly the better player. I think that his importance has shown for Wolves this season because he's not just a finisher, as many people might think that he is based on just his goal tally, his physique. He drives with the ball. He's very important to the way that Wolves play.
Lots of assists as well.
Exactly, and so I think that his all-round game would carry him through quite comfortably.
Chris Wood's going home there.
Although I do like Chris Wood, vital to the way Burnley play. Scores a lot of headers,
He does.
but not a match
Not
for
quite
Jimenez.
So another round one tie here. We've got Troy Deeney against Jordan Ayew. Do you think Ayew wins this one? It's quite close, isn't it?
It is close.
No, I hate Deeney. Just hate him.
Just because he always scores against Arsenal.
No, I just don't like the guy.
I think it would. I know Ayew's goal that he scored this season was incredible.
Goal of the season contender.
Yeah, absolutely. But Deeney, I think, especially since Nigel Pearson's taken over, Deeney's importance and quality has shown once again for Watford, and so I think he would just edge out over Ayew for me.
And then the second round tie, Jamie Vardy against Troy Deeney. He's quite comfortable with Vardy, isn't it? Great form this season.
Yeah, he can go away. Thank you.
That's quick, Cameron.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Jamie Vardy, he sort of personifies Leicester's football. He's just a fantastic player. He's proved it again this season under Brendan Rodgers.
Then he can go out. Then he can go out. So
Thank you, Cameron. I think Vardy ahead of Lacazette just.
Yeah, Vardy would beat Lacazette, especially on form this season. Lacazette really hasn't been as good as he can
Son
be.
scored.
This is another interesting tie, isn't it, though? Because
Son scored.
Gabriel Jesus against Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, I don't.
Obviously, he's playing for the better club, but Jimenez arguably the better striker. At the
Yeah,
moment.
I don't agree with Cameron's sudden assumption to chuck Jimenez out. I would very
I
much
would
put
get rid of
Jimenez in.
Jesus. Jimenez is a great
We
striker.
talked about Jimenez's importance, and I don't think that Jesus has been that important for Man City. With the likes of Sergio Aguero, obviously it's hard to displace him from that Man City team. And so I think Jesus will turn into a quality striker, especially if Aguero leaves next year after his contract runs out.
So that leaves the four best number 9s in the Premier League, semi-finalists. Semi-final number 1, Firmino Ings. Close one, but maybe Firmino just ahead.
I think it has to be just based on pure quality. I know he's not a number 9, an out-and-out number 9, but he is just the quality he shows, the way he involves the players in that Liverpool team is just vital to how they play. And so I'd put him in the final there.
Danny Ings goes home, and another close one, Jamie Vardy and Jimenez, two great strikers again.
This one's really hard, and I think we have rounded it down to the 3 best number 9s in the league. But this is really tough to decide
on goals, maybe Vardy top scorer in the league at the moment.
Yeah, and you'd have to put him in there because his importance for Leicester is magnificent again. You see just the way they always look for him as their talisman, and he's got good vision as well. You know, that ball through to Harvey Barnes against Chelsea when Barnes should have scored. That just shows his all-round quality as a striker.
Harsh on Jimenez though,
It is.
And this is the final. 2 best number 9s in the league. Roberto Firmino, Jamie Vardy. Firmino, as you said, 8 goals, 7 assists this season. Vardy, 17 goals. Either one of them could win it, but who would you vote for?
It's hard to compare them because they are their styles of play are very different. And I'd say if you just look at sort of as a number 9, you'd pick Vardy probably, but as like an all-round footballer, I think that Firmino snatches it. So it depends what you base it on.
I mean, I'd say at the moment I'd have Jamie Vardy just ahead of him, just purely based on those 17 goals. I mean, if you add up Firmino's goals and assists, it doesn't even make Vardy's goals.
True.
And his importance to that Leicester team. I know Firmino's important for Liverpool, but Vardy is so important.
I think Salah's more important than Firmino in that Liverpool team, personally. So I think Vardy should win this overall. So
Firmino, a close runner up there, but Jamie Vardy, the best number 9 in the Premier League, that's what we think. But go on the Instagram and vote for who you think is the best number 9, and next week the winner will be revealed. And now I think that brings us on to the final topic of the day, which is FPL and our FPL squads.
So next up, we're going to talk about our FPL teams. So who wants to start first?
I'll start off. So as you can see on the screen there, this is my team. As it says Harry's team there. So for next week, I'm thinking Danny Ings, he's doing really well for me at the moment. I think he could be a great pick. So I've got him as captain against Aston Villa. If you want to get him in your teams, I would seriously advise that. As well as Vardy and Wilson have gone for the all-English front three. I think that could be a good front three in terms of getting above these two in the league. De Bruyne, Son and Ali, of course, Tottenham on better form recently, especially in attack. And then we've got Richarlison, again on great form. Got 13 points last week, I believe. Holgate is doing well in defence. And then De Bruyne and Son. No one can argue with those picks. Of course, Son scoring 2 goals to win against Aston Villa. It's just happened. Federico Fernandes in defence. Newcastle got an improving defence at the moment, as well as Patricio. Norwich not looking that good on attack at the moment, so he could get clean sheets. And then we've got Trent. No one can argue with that. So I'm pretty pleased with my team at the moment. I think if I was advising 2 or 3 players to get in, I'll say maybe Callum Wilson. He's got 2 goals recently. I think he cost 7.4 million, so not the most expensive. He could be a good pick, as well as maybe Danny Ings up front and Mason Holgate in defence as well. He starts centre back most games and he gets some assists and a few goals, a lot of bonus points. So if I was picking 3, I'd go for Holgate, Ings and Wilson. But that's my team. Take as much from that as you want to. I'd say if you're using your wild card, copy that team. I think it's a great team, much better than Cameron's and Nick's. So on to the next team. As you can see there, this is Cameron's team. Cameron, do you want to talk us through?
Yes, I would love to talk you through. So I've got Dean Henderson in goal, one of the best keepers in the league at the moment, as far as I'm aware. So I think he'd be he's top pick. So I think you should go for him. Defence, well, that's open. Lundstram, he's been benched recently, but he did come on the other day and score. So he's a 50-50 option. And my other defenders, I've got Van Dijk, I've got Digne, and I've got Pereira on the bench. Pereira playing City next. I wouldn't go for him because I think City will get a couple past them, unless Leicester come out of the blue and start scoring and keep a clean sheet, which they did years back. Van Dijk, well, you can just pick any Liverpool player, don't you think, at the moment in defence? Robertson, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, don't you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think Van Dijk and Trent are definitely good picks, probably ahead of Robertson because he's not really getting the assists at the moment. But
my midfield, Salah's the obvious bit. I took De Bruyne out because I didn't have enough money and I've replaced him with the better player in Salah. But again, I've got Mahrez, another City player there, and Jack Grealish, if I can get his name right, he's a decent player as well. He gets some assists, scores some goals, so he's another good option for your midfield. Up front, well, DCL is on fire. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
11 points last week.
11 points, indeed. Again, playing Arsenal, in fact, actually, in the next round. So, I don't know. My other striker is Aubameyang, so I'm not sure about that either. He hasn't played as we're filming at the moment, so he is my captain too. So
playing out wide as well on the left.
He is playing, but he'll probably go up front, and Nketiah will slide into the left. And Vardy, he's been off recently, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. He might get his form back very soon. And on my bench,
of course, Vardy, the best number 9 in the Premier League, according to us. So.
And on my bench, I've got Tomori and Dendoncker. Well, they don't mean anything, to be honest. I've got Button in it as my goalkeeper. He doesn't even play. I'm just saving money, you see. So yeah,
Overall, couple of players as your best ones then?
Probably Henderson, Van Dijk, Salah and Vardy, all Calvert-Lewin. Aubameyang we'll see after after this round, and we'll find out, see what happens in the next couple of weeks with him.
Okay, so we'll move on to Nick's team now. Can you see Nick's team on the screen now? Nick, can you talk us through?
Yeah, and I'd like to just quickly point out that Cameron talks about his subs bench, not meaning anything. But that's not the way you want to go about it. You want a good subs bench because they just act as free transfers every week. You can just, replace who you want with the players on your bench. If you've got a good bench, then you're in business.
I'd agree with you there. And Nick, what's your bench then?
I've got Ben Foster on my bench at the moment.
Good goalkeeper.
I've got Lundstrom, Soyuncu and Todd Cantwell. All of them regular starters,
and
obviously.
Cheap.
And cheap.
Who's your actual goalkeeper?
My actual goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. So I've got two of the best... What?
I'm joking.
So I've got two of the best keepers in fantasy in my team, which is definitely a bonus for me. It can result in some frustration if you pick the wrong one for a certain week, but it hasn't happened as yet. And then another important part of my team is my defence, in which I have two Liverpool defenders. I think doubling up on the Liverpool defenders at the moment is something worth doing. Obviously, they've conceded 1 goal in 2020, which is ridiculous. So I've got Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. And then moving into the midfield, a player that I've had for a long time, James Maddison. Think of taking him out, but I just quite like having him in my team. I always feel like he's the type of player for Leicester that could just conjure something up. And also Adama Traore is another one that I think a lot of people should have him. A lot of people do, because he's the type of player that can just blow defences away when Wolves need them to.
A lot of assists this season as well.
Exactly, and then moving into my front line, obviously the main threat in that team is Jamie Vardy. I'm not too sure if I'll keep him in at the moment due to his form. Obviously that injury has just knocked a bit out of him, I think. But I've also got Danny Ings and Calvert-Lewin who rack up the goals of late, especially Danny Ings, who I'm sure everyone will have in their team at some point.
So if you were going to pick again, the best player in that team?
Best player in the team, someone I didn't mention, but it's probably Mo Salah. A lot of people saying he's having a bad season. He's not. He's got the most points out of anyone.
He's the top scorer in FPL this season.
People said that he wasn't that good last season. He was the top scorer in FPL last season as well. But I say the most important players are my two Liverpool defenders, because they keep a lot of clean sheets.
Always get clean sheets, consistent points there.
Exactly.
Okay, and again we could talk about this for a lot more, but we haven't got the time. So now it's time to finish this debate and go on to Cameron's outro.
Right, that's a wrap now. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed watching the very first show, and we hope to see you very soon. Remember to like and subscribe. So it's going to be a goodbye from Nick.
Goodbye.
And it's going to be a goodbye from Harry.
Goodbye.
And we will see you very, very soon.